vicious on the mic, bitches on my dick. I don't have the time, ambitious as it gets. Competition switch, I stay uninvolved. They think I'm unaware, I'm suspicious of it all. Yeah, ain't no telling who is who. People wanna tell me about myself, I wonder who are you?
Welcome to episode 11 of the Wrestling Tonight podcast. I'm your host, Blake, and we are here to discuss the latest WWE pay-per-view, which is Stomping Grounds. First thoughts right away, I was really impressed that this was actually one of the better pay-per-views of the year. Yeah, I know it was getting a lot of slack because a lot of repeat matches, but at the end they really delivered. We'll start off with the pre-show. New Cruiserweight Champion Drew Gulak defeats Tony Nese and Akira Tozawa in a really good triple threat match. Before the show, Seth Rollins goes and tweets out that WWE has the best professional wrestling in the planet, and a lot of people gave him a lot of stick for that, but he's not wrong, and he backed it up with this Cruiserweight match right away. So moving on from there, we open the show with the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, going one-on-one against Lacey Evans. Becky Lynch pulls this out and remains your Raw Women's Champion. I was not really convinced that Lacey was posing a threat, but we can see that these two are not done. We'll get on later in the episode for that. Moving on from there, we have New Days, Big E and Xavier Woods teaming up, going up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This match really delivered right off the gate. Kevin Owens and Sami were just going after Xavier Woods left and right. Super kicks, Blue Thunder Bomb, pop-up power bombs, anything they had in their repertoire, they were throwing at him. And Xavier Woods, every single time, kicked out. Every single time, kicked out, kicked out, kicked out. Then it finally slowed down a little bit. Big E was able to get back in the match. He really wasn't much of a factor, but he did what he could. At the end, KO hits the stunner. 1, 2, 3. Owens and Sami pick up a big win against the New Day. Maybe this throws Kevin Owens back into the title picture. Who knows? We'll wait and see. Going on from there, third match of the night, United States title match. Ricochet going one-on-one against the defending champ, Samoa Joe. And a very surprising upset. Ricochet is now your new United States champion. He hit his signature 630 or whatever, his flippy dippies, which he hits him as hard as he could, and it didn't look like it did much to Joe because he's such a bigger man, but puts him down. 1, 2, 3. Your Universal Champ goes on to social media defending him because Will Ospreay goes on and says that I'm alive, talking to Rollins when he says they have the best cruiserweight, and he goes and says, don't worry, buddy, we got the better version of you, and talking about Ricochet, which is very nice to see that he's sticking up for everyone in this business. Move on from there. We had a SmackDown Tag Team title match. The Planet's champion, Daniel Bryan or Rowan, went toe-to-toe with Heavy Machinery, and I tell you right now, Heavy Machinery is going to be future tag champs. I don't know how long, how soon. Maybe by SummerSlam times. Those two look 10 times better than what they ever did in NXT. And I was very impressed with them. The one spot where Daniel Bryan's hitting his yes kicks on Otis, and Otis just eats him and eats him and eats him and picks him up and just slams him down. Tucker and Otis, big men going at it with Rowan, another big man. But nice cheeky roll up by Daniel Bryan gets him the win. And he goes to social media and says as well, Cheeky roll up never fails. Gets him again. So to go from there, we had our SmackDown Women's Title match. Be Bayley versus Raw's Alexa Bliss. Very confused on why Alexa Bliss is in this match, but hey, I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna say anything. I wanted Bliss to win. Bliss is champ. This rivalry between the two got very personal last minute, but Bayley pulls out at the end. Very odd as she smacks Nikki Cross on the head because Nikki Cross took the outside dive from Bayley instead of letting Bliss get hit with it, but maybe this means these two are not done, or these three. So we'll wait and see. Going from there, we had Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for probably the 600th time. But this match was different than the last 600. Shane McMahon was in McIntyre's corner and provided antics the whole match long against Roman. The big dog prevails, though, so it's hard to count him out. Gets the win. Turns and goes backstage with Shane later on in the night. Says that he's going to have to face them 2-on-1 in a handicap match on Raw. Also, what's going on backstage, Ricochet was taking his photos with his new U.S. Championship. AJ Styles in the club comes in and interrupts, and AJ congratulates him and says, "We'll see you tomorrow night, 1-on-1. Moving on from that, that'll be a nice match to watch. We had WWE Champion Kofi Kingston going strong, which I've seen he's 8-0 now in defending this title as he picked up the win against Dolph Ziggler in a really good steel cage match. These two are athletes at the finest, and they put on a show yet again. Ziggler looked to be winning the match as he was crawling out of the cage, but Kofi realized how close he was and went a full-on sprint and dove out to win before Ziggler hit the ground. New Day comes out and celebrates with Kofi as he's still champ is still going strong. The main event of the night, which many people are very upset about. Many people have the right to be upset about, but it seems like when WWE wants to go storyline, that the fans just turn on it right away. But then, hey, when there's no storylines involved, fans get upset on why there isn't storylines. So it's like a lose-lose situation for them right now, but they chose to go storyline route. Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal title, with a special guest referee appointed by Baron Corbin himself. And I seen a report earlier today that WWE posted a picture of Lacey Evans being the special guest ref. And then they said it got taken down right away. So maybe that wasn't supposed to be leaked, or maybe it was, just to let the fans know. But hey, Baron Corbin announced the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans, was going to be the special guest referee for this match. So that lasted long. And then carry on in the match, it was going to be a big thorn in Rollins' side because he is in a relationship with Becky Lynch, #Brolins. I don't know how you can come up with a name like that, but we'll let it be. So, going on in that match, Rollins and Corbin are slowly going at it, backing up, building this match, building this long main event. Rollins turns around and powerbombs him through the table on the outside. Lacey Evans has to start counting, and she hits the count of 8. Turns around and says, "Hey, this match is going to restart. No more DQs. Or not no more DQs. No more countouts." So, going on in the match, Corbin now has the upper hand because he's beating the crap out of Rollins with the steel chair Rollins brought to the ring. And that's where Lacey Evans goes, "Well, I saw this. Well, now I got to do something about it." And she goes, "Okay." We're going to start it with no more DQs now. So no countouts, no DQs, nothing. It's a no hold bars match. So they start going at it, and then Rollins has Corbin beat, going for the pin, and Evans doesn't count. Evans has her arm hurt. She can't hit 3. So we move on, and Rollins, this is where he starts attacking Evans. Starts yelling at her, getting in her face, and just had enough of this whole antic between the two. So Evans smacks Rollins into tomorrow. Rollins takes it, laughs, moves on, gets back in her face. Gets slapped again. Turns and comes back at her for more and gets kicked in the gut this time. Then as he kicked in the gut, turns his back to her, goes to Corbin, and then gets hit with the low blow. Now this is where the fun began. To this point, Becky Lynch comes out, runs, and attacks Evans, and just starts beating the crap out of her on the outside of the ring. So the refs come running in to come save the day, to break up this fight between the two. And then as Corbin's getting ready to hit the end of days, he needs a ref in the ring. He calls none other than John Cone, who was the official at I can't even think of the name what the last pay-per-view was. But anyways, at the last title match, those two had a big, strong disagreement. But they go at it, and turns. Rollins reverses the end of days, gets him down, hits him with the curb stomp, and 1, 2, 3, Rollins retains. Super Showdown is what it was. I'm sorry, but goes down. Becky and Seth celebrate at the end of the match, sitting on the apron, doing their little shebang with one another, and that's how the show ends. So, go to Twitter. I set up some polls at the end of the pay-per-view, asking everyone what their favorite matches of the night. I couldn't include the Cruiserweights because it was a triple threat match, and plus it was on the pre-show. I know many people don't like watching the pre-show. So, start off, I said who had the better women's match. Was it Bliss or Bayley or Lacey Evans, Becky Lynch? Between the 15 votes that everyone threw in, 73% said Alexa Bliss and Bayley had the better match, and I'll agree there. It was a really good match between the two. Lacey Evans, Becky Lynch, we've already seen that enough, and Becky Lynch comes out on top again. So then, moving on, I asked who had the better tag team match. And 64% said Sammy and Kevin versus the New Day rather than Heavy Machinery, Bryan and Rowan. I'll disagree on that one. Heavy Machinery really came out strong. Daniel Bryan, the hometown boy, was getting cheers left and right, getting chants thrown at him. One point they're chanting, "Please recycle," to drive a Prius, to everything else in between, to show how they are very friendly to the ecosystem up in Washington. But yeah, I thought Heavy Machinery really came out strong. I'll say they're almost superstars of the night, but yet they didn't win. But the showing they put on was really good. So then I said who had the best singles match of the night out of the males. And it went 24 votes, 58% by a landslide was Ricochet and Samoa Joe. And they're not wrong there. Those two put on a clinic between the two. Last place, Corbin and Rollins. Yeah, because I said long building, special guest, storyline. Maybe we're going to have an intergender match. Who knows? Drew and Roman came in second place. That match was really surprising. I know many people just tossed it to the side right away. That was a really good match. So, What I was surprised and what I was waiting for the entire night was to see good old Bray Wyatt. Since around WrestleMania, after WrestleMania, he's shown up with this Firefly Funhouse gimmick and slowly been building it, slowly been showing the world who he really is now. So then moves on, starts showing the more darker, sinister Bray Wyatt what we know. But now he's kind of mixed in between, and he does little fun things here and there to remind you that he's not all bad. We don't know what show he's on. He could still be on Raw, or he might be on SmackDown Live. Who knows? I was really hoping that he was going to show up in that steel cage match and sit up between him and Kofi, or he was going to show up against Drew and Roman and just get in the middle of it. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to bring him back. I don't know how he's going to start a feud with anyone, but once he does, you're going to be grateful that you're watching this. Another one I was really surprised about was there's no 24/7 champion at this show. As you seen last Monday night on Raw, Drake Maverick finally got his hands on the 24/7 title, rolling up R-Truth, and then goes on to his wedding, saying he's getting married with the 24/7 title. Which I can see why they did this, and it's very good for social media. But at Drake Maverick's wedding, after he kissed his newly wife, goes and walks out and gets rolled up by R-Truth. R-Truth steals the title from his wedding, and that was it from the rest. That's all we've seen. What I really liked most about this title is people like Drake Maverick, R-Truth, Jinder Mahal, who's really putting this title, who's really making it mean something, who's really making it entertaining. R-Truth has Carmella with him every single week, and she's helping him. Whether he has to dress up, whether he has to hide, whether he has to run for his life. He has his eyes behind his back. That's her. And then you have Drake Maverick, who's hunting this guy down left and right for this title and is making it want something. Then you have Jinder Mahal, who sneaks up here and there and grabs the title for a day before R-Truth wins it back. Hell, seeing the pictures that Drake Maverick's posting at his wedding, I thought young King Maxwell was going to steal the title. But that didn't come out to be, and R-Truth is back to being 24/7 champion. Maybe this is his calling. This is something he wanted. But this guy has turned back into 2011, 2012 R-Truth, where he's just putting on a show. No little Jimmy this time, but man, is he's giving you his best all the time. But anyways, wrap this up real quick. Going, asking people for their thoughts on the whole show all around. Many people did not think it lived up to what it should have been. Many people thought it lived up more than what it should have been. But hey, wrap the show all up here. I'll say it's a good 7 out of 10. It was a better pay-per-view than anyone thought. They really threw out their big hitters right away. They really let Sammy and Kevin, New Day, really surprising strong match. You had Ricochet, Samoa Joe, Becky Lynch, Lacey Evans. Heavy Machinery really was surprising. Roman and Drew put on a really entertaining match. Steel cage between Kofi and Dolph could have been a little bit better, but still was good. And then the only sour part, I will say, not even sour to me, but sour to everyone else, which has to be the main event of Seth and Corbin. But overall, it was a good show. We know our next pay-per-view, July 14th, is the Extreme Rules. I don't know what we're gonna do for that. I don't know. Hopefully, we get new first matches. The only ones I could see repeating on here would be Becky Lacey, Rollins, Corbin. But maybe that's gonna be one giant match, a tag team match, rather than two singles matches. But yeah, so wrap it all up. Solid show all around. Not the best, not the worst. I like when WWE comes out and gives you new names for pay per views. I don't understand why people hate on it. I don't understand why someone would want to sit here and watch Backlash every single year or sit down and watch Payback every single year. Like just when WWE did Great Balls of Fire a few years ago, something new, something fun. But yet people want to turn it away because it's an original idea. It's not the same thing they're used to seeing. People are scared of change. You know what I appreciate the most out of this whole pay per view is Seth Rollins is backing up his talk and saying, hey, we are the best damn wrestlers in the world. We are better than that other company that's starting up. We are better than the guys out there in Japan. Like, they are one of the best. But, anyways, we are now officially live on Spotify as the Wrestling Tonight podcast. We are on Podbean as well, Wrestling Tonight podcast. You can find me on Instagram, Wrestling Tonight podcast, all in one word. Twitter, which I'm trying to get up, start using more, is at WT_podcast_. This will also be going up on YouTube as well at Wrestling Tonight podcast. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys enjoyed WWE Stomping Grounds. This is episode 11. I'm your host, Blake, signing off. Peace.
Yeah, probably not what you claim. Money coming and go. All I got is my name. Feel like I fuck with nobody if you weren't there from the jump. How could you ever relate? How could you ever live up? So I put everyone behind the A-ball and put up the great wall. So I don't get surprised when you go AWOL. Ulterior motives, I can always tell. I be on my own shit, I've been doing well. Y'all be having angles, I don't trust a soul. Maybe I'm too cold lately, I be on the low with your ulterior motives.